Next, come to After Effects, right? So I opened After Effects here. So this is the latest version, okay, that 2025, and of course it is equipped with the AI also. So all the latest tools and latest improvements with the AI also I'll cover in depth, right? So first see this start page. For any software from the Adobe, we have the start page. The same way here, we have a start page for the After Effects. So in the start page, see this is a new project, to create a new project, or otherwise if you have any project already you have done, so open that. This is the home button to reach there, and you can learn from the Adobe. And templates, suppose here templates, ready-made templates are available. So if you click here, it is connecting to Adobe Express templates. Here different templates are there, so you can use this. These templates are available when you use your registered and software, right? A new team project. So it is a team project. Suppose sometimes you have to work with the teams. There the team project will create, right? So right now I'm not creating anything. Okay, so come back to normal, go back and open team project. So already you have done the team project. If you want to open that, open, right? Otherwise create the new project, right? So click on that. So see, when you click on that here, the software is open here. Okay, it is what showing new composition from footage. Okay, your composition, you are preparing your composition from already, it is the footage, your footage is there. If you want to create from there, or otherwise completely entirely new, you have to choose that one. All right, so actually what is composition is very important to understand that one, right? So but let us check in the first phase of module 1. So it is getting started, the core environment, the interface and the workspace, the digital kitchen look like. Okay, the first step is just knowing where things are. You can think of the After Effects screen like a digital kitchen split into 4 main areas, right? Project panel, the fridge, this is where you store all your ingredients, the files you import like your logo, videos, music and images, right? That is a project panel. It's a fridge. So fridge means this is, see, this is the project panel. It is like your fridge. Here you can store your all your assets here, right? So this is your fridge, and the other one is here the composition, and this is the timeline, and here it is suppose in the standard. So here we have the properties, right? The properties panel, and this is the timeline panel, and this is the composition, and this is the project panel. Project panel is like a fridge where you store all your assets. Okay, so then other one is the composition panel, the display monitor. This is where you actually see your video playing. It is your main visual screen where you position and look at your elements. Okay, the main composition panel means this is, okay, so here the main work, we do all our main work here, right? So for understanding purpose I am showing all these things. The timeline panel, the recipe, this is the most important panel. It is where you control time, manage all your layers, ingredients, and set the keyframes that create movement. Okay, the timeline is a recipe like. So here only we mostly the important panels is where you control time, manage all your layers, ingredients, This is in timeline panel. The frames are available, and here you can use the keyframes and you can move them, and you can control all your entire the movie, okay, scenes, whatever it is. The effects and presets, the spice rack, a library of all the effects, blurs, color correction tools, and pre-built animations you can add to your layers. The fourth panel is effects and presets. The spice of rack. The spice of rack is, this is, suppose here. Suppose here, see, here we have the workspace also there. So the workspace is showing the default, and here it is a review. And for the learning purpose, suppose if you want to learn easily, your workspace is dividing, right, showing this way, and for the small screen and for the standard, okay, this is for the standard. Okay, in the default, if you observe here, defaults, here we have effects and presets are there. Of course, in the standard also it is showing properties and effects and presets. So in the effects, the panel, all the available effects. So you can add all the your spice of whatever the masala ingredients you can add to enhance your animations. And here the practical tip, right now just focus on the making your timeline panel, right? Big, you spend 90% of the time you here only, right? The composition basics, setting up your new scene. Before you can animate anything, you need a scene, right? That scene is called a composition or comp. The shortcut is comp. Before you can animate anything, you need a scene, right? So in scene only, the drama and the action, whatever the elements we include, right? That scene is called a composition. So anything you create, if you want to create in After Effects, first you have to create a composition, new composition. Actually, that is a scene. So what is it? It is your digital canvas. You define the rules for this canvas, the resolution, how big is it? So 1920 by 1080 is a standard HD, and 3840 into 2160 is for 4K. Okay, and the frame rate, how many pictures a flash per second, 30 frames FPS is a common for the web. The duration is how long is your video, example 10 seconds. The practical example, you hit a new composition and set it to be 10-second video. So 1020 pixels wide at 30 frames per second, you have created your empty stage. So here it is. Now we do all these things. Okay, now see, these are all the panels, the project panel, composition panel, the main work we do here, and here we arrange all the stuff here in the timeline panel. In the project panel, we can collect your everything data, like your freeze, we store all these your elements, and here this is effects and projects here, presets, okay, and these are the properties. Nothing is selected, so not showing anything, right? So these, suppose you can drag and drop this. Suppose, see, with the left mouse I'm dragging and dropping here, so that means here your project setup is changed here, right? And your composition is here. Okay, I'm using my left mouse here and drag here. Suppose I'm shifting this to down, right? So sometimes we move accordingly, according to your work habit. You can move this, okay, and even you can move these also. And suppose here we click here, yes, yes, you move this here. Okay, that means what? You're collapsing everything. The default setup is gone, right? You're changing everything. Sometimes there will be a big confusion. Where are my all the default setup, right? So no need to worry here. See, here we have the setup is there. Suppose if you come to default or otherwise review or learn or small screen or standard, click here. There are 3 lines are showing. Okay, so left click here and see there reset to saved layout. You can reset to the before layout or save changes to this workspace. Suppose I have created this one. Okay, nothing is there, but I have created, changing everything. If you want to save this, you can save this as it is. Save as a new workspace. If you want to give the name, on that name that will save. Okay, and otherwise edit workspaces. Already you have workspaces, the default and all these things. Okay, so you can edit from the workspace. Right now I am not doing anything. I am choosing reset to saved layout. Now see, it is come back to into the normal position. This is a project, the composition, and here it is timeline and these effects and presets. The main panel, suppose the 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and afterwards you have main 4 panels. Very basic, it's very understanding is very important, right? Now let us create a new composition. The composition means a scene. Just click on that. It is showing what composition settings. Can give composition name. Here I am creating example. And the preset is HD. Suppose 1920 by 1080. So 29.97 FPS frames per second, right? So these are all the different file settings, presets. Sometimes we use for the social media, portrait size or 4K. Okay, in the coming classes we use all these things. So right now keep this as it is. Okay, though here width is 1920 1080 and lock aspect ratio. So it is locked and should be in the square pixels. Okay, frame aspect ratio this is and this is, and the frame rate here, see, it is 29.97 or 30, almost the both are same. Okay, and the drop frame. Okay, so they'll explain in the coming classes, because in animation we'll understand more clearly about that. The resolution full or half, third, quarter, depends on your the system available RAM and the speed. You can choose this. So default it is showing full. Keep this as it is. Okay, it is a time code, so it is in a default duration it is showing. So hours, the minutes and the seconds, 30 seconds, right? Say okay. Now we created a new scene.